Welcome back to the Bejeweled podcast, the podcast that just keeps on giving, even when it's just barely before Christmas. I'm Joel, I'm the other 121, and let's just say life has not been the same ever since last week.
And I'm Jaiozak, and for the first time in what feels like forever, I went out of my way to get a game physical instead of digital.
Yeah, he showed me that the other day. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bejeweled podcast number 36. And today, oh boy, we're going to talk about something that I've been curious about for quite some time, but we're also going to talk about something that has perked the minds of everybody to the point that it's been becoming a bit more jokish. Or should I say meme-ish?
Yeah.
But before that, ladies and gentlemen, this is another podcast. I hope you guys are enjoying this. If you're enjoying, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for content if you're new, of course. As much as I'm not posting as much as often as before, I'm still posting, so please. Follow Jaiozak on these fandles, and of course, ring that bell to find anytime I upload whenever I do. Last podcast on the card, up here. Man, I just have to change that intro now that I'm not uploading as much.
Yeah, it's an adjustment period.
It really is. What is an adjustment period is these podcasts, so I have one question. You ready?
I think so.
Alright, and let me just get things started, inclusive of having to set up something. See if this works, because I'm hoping what I'm about to do works out, because this would change quite a bit of what, on something that was bugging me for a while. And okay, it's all up to you now to tell me if it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, actually, yeah, you are perfect on my end.
Okay.
What I did was I increased your volume on your end.
Okay. I can't really preview the audio without it messing up the recording of you.
Of course, no, don't worry. I can promise you I did it. So with that said, let's get it started.
Okay.
Okay, so it's been an interesting past few weeks. I mean, now we're doing these a lot more often, which is great. But key thing, of course, is the few big topics that I want to talk about. First off, I'm just going to straight away talk about it. GTA 6.
Yeah.
For context, I'll give the context real quick. Grand Theft Auto 6 was destined to be the next open world crime fighting game in this current decade. Unfortunately, over the past few, not even months, but this year in particular, it has seen delay after delay after delay, and now people are mad.
Yeah, like, the most recent Grand Theft Auto game, new one at least, is GTA 5, and that came out 2013. If memory serves correct, I was in middle school when that came out, and now I'm in the workforce.
I can say the same thing actually on my end.
Yeah.
Oh, how time has passed. It's definitely interesting to see this kind of outspoken language for such a game as this. I mean, we've known about such things before with other games to an extent, but all of a sudden seeing it out full-on riots about it is like, wow, what?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, people are, at this point, definitely just done with waiting. They want to finally play it, but especially with like the gameplay footage that's come out, it's they're definitely like leaning into the like as much like hyper-realism as possible, which I mean makes sense with like the power level of current gen like home consoles and PCs, but that takes a lot of development time.
Yeah. It's funny that we actually talked about high def gameplay before. We talked about 4K gameplay, I believe, in a previous podcast. And I guess you could say that topic has resurfaced to an extent, because like, to what extent now can we say, okay, this is a bit too much, we might have to slow it down in terms of like production? Because as we can see here, it's clearly not working out properly for Rockstar Games when people are already that mad over, you know, not only the fact that the game is like not coming out and keep getting delayed, but the fact that the employees themselves who got fired is like, what's going on?
Right. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that, so I had to like look up some like material relating to that. So I watched the People Make Games video about that. I don't know the guy's name, but
But best not to say.
yeah. He actually went to I think Rockstar North, if I remember correctly, and like interviewed a lot of the people that got fired and that were at the protests there outside of the Rockstar North headquarters. And I mean, if anything, that all those layoffs, if anything, felt like they were just for like union busting, because a lot of the employees that were fired, in fact, like the majority, if not all of them, were starting to form a union, and they were fired under the reasoning of discussing like internal, like confidential information in forums outside of standard employee communication methods. Basically, they were forming their own Discord server, and that's why, like, that was the reasoning that Rockstar North like used to like fire them. But the fact that they were also like forming a union, it doesn't look good on Rockstar's part.
The pure irony of creating Discord through Discord. Someone actually finally read the description of Discord correctly.
Discourse through Discord?
I mean, here's the thing, like, the funny thing is that Discord technically is a term to say that, oh, we're trying to separate us apart. The fact that we use Discord as a means to connect rather than separate apart is hilariously ironic. And then now someone like, you know what, we got the memo of Discord, let's make some chaos.
Right. Make some chaos with yeah.
No, not with a Chaos Emerald. It definitely is interesting from a superficial viewpoint of just the outlash that we see out there. And when you really break it down, it really is not as, well, how to say this, corruptive as we thought. Like, you realize to yourself, wait a second, there is something going on there. There's a reason why these people are like, yeah, I got the pink slip. And, I mean, if you're not the intuitive one to, like, really do your research, one of those things where it can definitely just bite you in the butt.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like, although, like, how else would they have, like, been able to, like, form and organize information for, like, getting a union together outside of means and platforms outside of Rockstar's influence?
I think the sad thing in this situation is that that's kind of the world we live in at the moment. It's like, it's so superficial to the where, like, if you don't research, like, we would quickly assume something when you hear it is like, oh, something's bad going on with that person, company that's being, like, you know, targeted. When in actuality, it's the opposite to an extent. I'm not saying that one side is purely in the right, but there's definitely still, I mean, it takes two to tango, and in this case, there's definitely a lot of tangoing between two parties.
Yeah. yeah, I don't know. Uh,
It's definitely a tough topic. I mean, I'm more aware of that, but
right.
it's kind of
Yeah.
interesting to see the whole situation. Not to say that it's a good interesting by any means, but when I think back to how other parties, quote unquote, have like rioted to an extent against other stuff, it seems more quote unquote civil, and it has ended up in a more positive light. Like it's been 5 years, but who has forgotten the Sonic the Hedgehog movie debacle?
Oh, about the Sonic's first like awful design.
Correct.
Yeah, and with that they like pretty much immediately course corrected when everyone was making fun of the design.
Yeah, the outlet is
And-
just like Sonic fans like, this is not Sonic, and then it actually worked, and it worked for the better.
Right.
Like we gone for
Right.
a potential catastrophe to oh hey, just box office potential.
Yeah. And I mean, I've only seen the first Sonic movie, but from what I've heard, all of them, because I think there's 3 now.
Yes.
From what I've heard, they're all good, at the very least.
Yes. I mean, there's a reason why the third movie was such a big hit. But the one key point I want to point out is how the situation was addressed, like how the problem was addressed. Now, granted, yeah, it was during the pandemic, so really the only thing we could have done is just type on the keyboard and express our complaints. But nonetheless, I feel like the way more civilized method of us doing so is potentially part of the reason why such a change was able to occur swiftly without any too much fuss. Now, granted, I know a change of character design is not as big as creating a game, but you gotta think about the fact that in the Sonic's case, it only just took I think it was like less than a month before the change was made.
Something like that. I mean, they were... I assume with the way that 3D animation works is that they just, like, went back to the model that was used and, like, made the adjustments and, like, then re-rendered everything back, into, like, how it was, like, rigged in, like, the different, shots and scenes, which... I mean, it could be different than that. I'm not really familiar with 3D animation enough, but that feels like the most efficient way of doing things is just like making a model and then keyframing it to different scenes. Yeah, that felt like it was very swiftly addressed.
Yeah.
Which I think you were saying something about the pandemic. Didn't the first movie come out at least here in the States, I think on Valentine's Day, which was like a little over a month before everything shut down, basically.
Wait, 20? Like, oh wow, I thought it was the end of 2020.
No, it was the beginning. I remember that because that was the last movie I went to see in theaters before everything shut down.
Well, actually, that actually proves my point about how civilized the confrontation was, if you think about it.
Right.
People were still able to go out there and actually do that, but instead it was just, talked about on the internet, rather. And it was not, like, kind of riot by any means, and then the change was made, and booyah.
Yeah. Granted, that's a very, like, concrete and, like, fixable issue.
True. Not as concrete as, creating a game, sadly. Nonetheless, I feel like the method in which such complaints was issued out is the reason why I want to talk about it. Because you look at what happened with Sonic the Hedgehog, then you look at GTA 6, it's like night and day in terms of how civilized the confrontations are.
Yeah, although, like, in the case of GTA 6, I mean, that's... I forget exactly the number, but, like, like a large amount of people's, like, livelihoods and everything just stripped away from them within, like, a moment. Should they have done things differently? Perhaps. But, it just kind of felt like an incredibly, like, harsh, response from Rockstar. I don't know.
No, I see where you're coming from with this. Definitely could have been done so much better in terms of the confrontation in this case, but I mean, now it's a case of having to suffer the consequences at this point, which you can see are quite dire to an extent when people are already rioting over the game.
Yeah.
This is taking the term, it's just a game, to a whole new level. No pun intended.
Sure. Yeah.
I only just realized, like, wait a second.
Yeah. Although I think at this point, like, in terms of, like, the actual player base, they've already waited so long, they can wait another year. As bad as that sounds, like, they've already waited for so long, it's not gonna be that big of a deal, I don't think.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't know.
I mean, what makes it worse, when I think about it further, it's not like... Okay, when I think of GTA 5, it's based off Los Angeles. I'm very aware of that, because you have the Santa Monica Beach representation, the Hollywood sign representation. Of course, it's a different word that says on there. But if you're going on hyper-realism, in the context of a world that is ever-changing, you don't expect them to fully perpetrate that kind of simulation that easily, do you?
Yeah.
It will take some time,
yeah,
let alone when changes happen, you're gonna have to, like, add this and that, just to ensure that things are accurate.
Yeah, because, like, at its core, GTA is supposed to be like I guess you could say, like, a satirical depiction of more like unsavory, like, underbelly of, like, Americana and, like, American culture. So, like, if you continuously are not able to, like, actually, like, release more games in a series that is, like, meant to depict more, like, timely references to, like, what society is, like, that's a problem. So, like, going for, like, hyper-realism and, like, things that just continuously push back the release date, it is, like, how true to, like, the core of GTA is it gonna be? I don't know.
Yeah. It is definitely a bit tricky for them, sadly. And all of these problems, all these complaints are just not helping the situation at all.
It's... Yeah, I mean... We don't know what exactly is, like, holding back this game's development, like, to where they've continuously had to, like, push back the release date, but it's, like... Yeah,
I think I know where you're coming from.
It's gonna...
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how, like, true to, like, the core, or how true it's going to be to the core of GTA. in its like, yeah.
Very true. Well, one thing I kind of was wondering if I was picking up from your hesitation was the fact that when it comes to how to say this, when it comes to like such a game development, it's not.
Sorry, I forgot to turn off that alarm on my phone.
Oops.
I
can hear it.
Yeah, completely unrelated. I've been starting to set an alarm on my phone just to be like, hey, you should think about going to bed. But tonight, they can't really do that. Yeah, set to go off at 9 p.m. Anyways.
What else was saying? It was about the game development, right?
Yeah, and picking up on, like, my hesitation when I was speaking.
Yeah, also, hang on, I need to change something real quick, because I just realized... Oh, jeez. Oh, wait, no, that's why. Okay, I just had to adjust something, because it looked very awkward. No, there we go, perfect. When I think about GTA, the one thing that comes to mind is, like, you know, all of the different customizable features in that game. Like, look at GTA 5. That was such a well put together game. You see all the extra stuff they added over the years, the costumes, the missions, the races, and also the ability to create races. Like, I'm not too sure you know about this, Jiaozek, but when 2017, 2018 came along, I believe, that was when they finally started to transform races where the car actually changes. So instead of like a car, you're driving a truck. Instead of a truck, you're driving a jet, playing towards 7.
Okay.
So they were able to implement that so seamlessly to an extent. I mean, yeah, some of it was a bit wonky, but admittedly, it was such a cool idea that, I mean, yeah, you could say it's a bit taken off of Sonic Race's Transform, but we're not going to get into that. But you see it, it's like, wow, this actually looks fantastic, let alone it's done so well. Now all of a sudden, it's like as though they go back to the basics of creating a game. It's like all of a sudden, from the superficial viewpoint, it seems as though they're just struggling to do something that just seems so simple. But it isn't really.
Yeah.
And I know of a friend of mine that, you know, has, well, not say creates games. Well, actually, no, he creates games to an extent, but right now he's making game characters. But the one thing that he has told me is, like, you know, how, like, tricky it is just to, like, work together to make a game. Like, the teamwork has to be there. And when you have, like, hundreds of employees, well, maybe less off now because of the sacking, but you know what I mean. It's tricky to disperse all the information properly to one another.
Right. Yeah, from my understanding and, like, from what I've heard from other people, like, making a game to that capacity is, like, borderline a miracle. Like, to actually, like, finish a project like that. Just with how many moving parts games have these days. Yeah. And especially even just with, like, the visuals of games these days. Like, there's whole teams that are just for developing all of those details. So I don't know what point I was trying to get at, but yeah.
No, I mean,
that.
You're just adding to the fact that of what I just said earlier, the idea that it's so complicated, but people don't seem to appreciate it sometimes.
Yeah.
And then, I wonder why. Let me just segue into another segment. How credits are being shown.
Right. Yeah, especially in regards to, like, remakes and remasters, how so many credits these days, like, just aren't properly crediting the, like, original development team. At least with, like, Nintendo remakes and remasters, they haven't been the greatest when it's come to that.
Well,
it's just, like, based off of the original work of this game, whatever.
Well, okay, I see where you're coming from, but that was actually not where I was actually thinking of going. But it's good, none the more. What I was mostly thinking about is how I've seen credits in most shows, not just games, but like most shows I see on the American side. You know, very ultra fast moving credits.
Oh, yeah, not really giving them, like, the...
Proper limelight.
Yeah.
It's like, let's just highlight the most important people only.
Yeah. It's like, no, everyone that was part of that development or production team, like, deserves to, like, properly be, like, shown. I mean, yeah, with the way that a lot of credits are these days, it's like, maybe, like, the big main people get, like, a special fancy, like, animated, like, graphics thing, and then it goes to just the standard boring list of scrolling credits for everyone else.
When I was at the Assembly, for those wondering, I was in on Assembly, the TV show in Singapore called The Assembly. I remember one guest that I interviewed, like, said, like, how I feel like the world has lost the idea of joke. Like, they take things too seriously. Now, I'll be honest, I can say that I think the world has lost the idea of giving credit to where it's due to the people that really matter. Because it is a team effort. Without one person, the whole team can fall apart very easily.
Right.
And I feel like not as many people can have appreciated that as of recent times. Which is very bothersome and sad.
Yeah. Yeah, if anything, it might be intentionally done, just, cynical, part of me is thinking it might be intentional, so then, people know the developers' names less and less, so then when they do get laid off, it doesn't feel as big of a deal.
Oof.
If, you know, they don't really know or remember who was working on those games, so they hear about all the studio laid off people. Okay. Because, like, they're not aware of who is actually part of that.
I feel like that's not far off from a potentially legitimate argument, honestly.
Yeah.
That's what's sad about this in this situation. Like, are they just doing this to try to reduce drama? Then how about those which are really limelighted? What if they get caught?
Right.
See, it's a bit one-sided, I'll be honest, in this current situation.
Right.
Nonetheless, yeah, but back to the main point in general, like, we kind of really discussed the fact that it's a team effort to make a game, as is with any project, and it's just kind of sad to see that people are a bit too superficial with how they think about how games are made to an extent.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that this is the only reason I feel like that people are ranting over GTA 6, but nonetheless, I feel like people should at least have that in mind so that, you know, such, you know, outlashes don't occur too more often, because I fear for my life if such a thing were to happen with any Nintendo or SEGA game.
Yeah.
Or worse than I think about any gacha game like Genshin Impact or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know why I wasn't expecting to hear Genshin Impact be mentioned.
I mean, to be fair, have you seen, like, oh right, we're gonna new topic. Have you seen, like, recently with, like, some, like, you know, artists, like, you know, taking a mick out of one another or something like that?
What exactly are you talking about?
Like, in the sense of, like, some artists, like, artists for characters, you know, getting some backlash.
Relating to Genshin Impact, I don't really know.
Or maybe other gacha games. Oh man, if only Patrick was here. He actually would know quite a bit of that. Not to say that I don't like the fact that he talks about it, but the fact that it's quite interesting to hear from him when such things happen. It's definitely interesting. When you look at it from that perspective, from a mostly non-American standpoint, it's kind of interesting to see not only their contrast, but also the similarities to an extent between this and the GTA 6 situation.
Gotcha. Oh wait, that wasn't intentional. I'm sorry.
I kind of figured. And I see that you're dying because of that.
Excuse me, I'm just dying.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
You can tell that I'm able to hold my laughter better than him.
Yeah. Sorry.
No worries.
Okay. So, anyways, Genshin Impact. No.
It's more so mostly of the gacha games. Like, I'm not saying only just Genshin. Like, sometimes Honkai Star Rail, Zenless Zone Zero, Wuthering Waves, another one that just came out recently this year. And then to hear the comeback of... Okay, another side tangent. To hear the comeback of No Man's Sky is actually crazy.
Yeah, you're talking just about how, like, no one liked it at first, and now it's, like, super beloved because of all the updates.
Pretty much. But it's incredible to see that development all the more.
Right. Yeah, I've only played it, like, a bit at my oldest brother's house, like, years ago. But even that was, like, when it was still, like, getting updates. I think it's even getting updates now, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they were able to turn, like, a game and a situation that, like, was, like, people just weren't liking at first, and now it's, like, through, like, feedback and everything, it's, yeah, something that people absolutely love.
I mean, that's what proper teamwork can do. And then you look at, I mean, I hate to rag on it even further, but you look at the other side of the coin, it's like, boy, this is what happens when you have such discord and things just crumble. I'm just hoping that once we get GTA 6, everything just settles in.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I'm sick and tired of hearing all that. At the same time, I'm just hoping it doesn't spread. Like this kind of, outlash method. I hope it just gets killed off as soon as possible. Because this is not what gaming communities should be doing.
Yeah, it's... When that game releases, like... Yeah, it's... hopefully is just nothing but positive for people that enjoy that series.
I hope so too. Like, as we mentioned, this is getting out of hand, and we'll just hope that it stops.
Yeah.
Ugh. On the brighter side, on to the next part very quickly. Sonic Racing Crossworlds.
Yeah, the game that people thought was going to win over Mario Kart in the Game Awards.
Unfortunately, Mario Kart is too strong, but at the same time, it's very interesting to see, all of a sudden, I mean, I'm sure you know it, we go from a cross-platform fighting game to all of a sudden we had a true cross-world racing game.
Yeah.
I think in your mind is way more versatile to Smash.
Yeah, it's funny how the cross in just the Crossworlds name is, like, indicative of, like, not just the fact that you're crossing into... I guess I don't know the specifics, but, like, crossing into different, like, zones or regions, like, within the game, but then also, like, it has cross-platform multiplayer, so, like, doesn't matter what platform your friends have, as long as you all have a console you can play together, but then also all the crossovers with like all the DLC, or it's either DLC or just like updates.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know the specifics.
I
but,
mean, what if I told you that all of a sudden characters from the Sonic comics are coming into the game?
It's interesting because you'd think that that's just like the same characters, but I guess they're different enough that.
Okay, we heard a racist. This is animalist. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
What?
I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. Like you stated, all the characters in Sonic like look the same.
No, I was just thinking like, okay.
Again, I was kidding, but still.
All of the, like are all the depictions of like Tails the same in like all of the media that he's portrayed in?
Oh no, we're not talking about those kind of characters. We're talking about actually different characters in the comics that never got the limelights in games.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a very different thing. It's quite cool. Like, as much as I don't read the comics myself, it's awesome to see such a change. Such an addition, sorry.
Yeah, like, it's not just a crossover of, like, other IP with Sonic, but with, like, more, like, I guess, forgotten characters from Sonic universe, like, actually, like, not collaborating, that's not the right word, but just, like, all together, like, within, one package. When I said all together, my brain was like, all together, all time, anywhere, Nintendo Switch 2, that's part of the, like, at least early days tagline.
Yeah,
regardless.
I can tell. Are you okay there? Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you actually. Oh, you're waiting for me to speak. Never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was about to mention, like, I guess considering where they came from, those releases don't come up flat.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind, you didn't get it.
No.
Because comic, is 2D. That doesn't come up.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I'm bad. But in all seriousness.
And also, I'm tired.
I mean, that too, yes. But in all seriousness, when you think about the earlier releases, like the earlier character announcements, and you hear all of a sudden Sonic with Hatsune Miku? It's just like, wait, excuse me, what?
Yeah, I mean, specifically with Hatsune Miku, I mean, they partnered with Domino's Pizza of Japan. It's, for her specifically, it's not too surprising, but yeah.
True. Like, I don't know, like, okay, I think one big comparison, I think the obvious comparison we can make here when in terms of Crossworlds is what SEGA did with Sonic and All-Stars Racing.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, as we know, that is just involving all the internal characters within SEGA. So you have Super Monkey Ball, I think. That's basically all that my knowledge goes to.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I mean.
No. Right. Excuse me. Yeah, now I'm trying to think what, like, other SEGA characters there are, and it's like, yeah, the only thing coming to mind is Super Monkey Ball.
Yeah.
And even then, I think in one Super Monkey Ball game, like, there's a crossover DLC with, like, Persona.
Oh,
but
geez.
I don't remember if Persona, that's an Atlas franchise, right?
Yes. I
Persona. Persona is on the mind because I was looking at Steam deals a little bit ago, which I probably shouldn't. Yeah, Atlas.
I mean, I actually posted something in my Discord saying like, dang it, this post relates to me a lot. I have 4 games in mind in my wish list that I want to buy.
Oh, yeah. I guess maybe completely unrelated, but I kind of have an excuse now to browse the Steam sales because I was actually, like, just today from my employer, as, like, part of a gift bag that I was given, Steam, card, like...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Steam cards.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, oh, maybe I should, like, look to see what I would want to get. And I have 2 things in my cart that I have not bought yet. But, yeah. For those curious, Baba Is You, which is a puzzle game I've heard of for years. And then a more recent release, Ruffy and the Riverside. It's like a platforming game with, like, Paper Mario aesthetic and vibes. Completely unrelated.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, crossovers. Yeah, like... Yeah, I don't know what point I was trying to think of, but, well, I mean, I see, like, within the subtopics that, you gave, it's, perfect timing after Smash Ultimate's run.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, like, the game that I think a lot of people now think of when it comes to, like, just, like, an ultimate crossover game, which, I mean, yeah, it has ultimate in the name, but, I mean, with how, I guess, off the wall, some of the, crossovers with Sonic Race and Crossworlds have been, it's like, in terms of kind of the sheer absurdity with some things, it's like, Crossworlds is at least giving Smash Ultimate a run for its money, especially Hatsune Miku.
Yeah. I mean, you say outlandish crossover. You think about it, Smash crossover with Minecraft.
Yeah.
Little else needs to be said.
Yeah, I still remember the day that was announced. I think I was working a morning shift when I was still at the library, and it's like, okay, I have enough of, like, downtime. I'm gonna watch this announcement, and it was like, no, they didn't. And
to anyone
did.
And anyone listening out there, no, we are not including the costume, so don't tell me, oh, you forgot Undertale. Shush.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're talking about legitimate characters here, okay? We're talking about only legitimate characters.
Sans was, like, interesting for a bit, but it's... I forget that there's a Sans costume in Smash Brothers, but Steve is like, oh yeah, that's more, like, front of mind, or, like, I'm just more... I remember that Steve is in the game, not so much Sans, like, gunner costume. If that makes sense. It's like, now I'm curious, what other characters are in Sonic Racing Crossworlds? So yeah, Steve, Alex, Creeper, SpongeBob and Patrick.
Creeper.
Yeah.
Oops, SpongeBob and...
Sorry.
It's like I hear myself.
My bad. I meant to put down. I had to also clear my nose.
No worries. Yeah, and I mean, well, why does this not have free post-launch racers? Okay, here we go. I was just seeing the season pass collaboration racers down here. Yeah, Hatsune Miku, Joker from Persona, Ichiban Kasuga, which I think that's What series is that? Shoot. It's not Hitman. Why do I keep thinking Hitman? Yakuza. Is that Yakuza?
I mean, nonetheless, I think I know why, because I mean, with the recent Eminem collab with Hitman.
Right.
Which, by the way, what? I mean, that makes sense, but at the same time, what? Now, here's the crazy thing. That has more plot into the album. Which makes us wonder if Eminem is doing yet another album in due time.
Wow.
He's not going away, is he? Not that it's a bad thing.
Right. Yeah, okay. Yakuza Like a Dragon. I think the series now is just called Like a Dragon, or is more often referred to as Like a Dragon instead of Yakuza.
Yeah, correct. It's almost like Yakuza is like Macbeth, forbidden word to say in the game title.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then I from Monkey Ball. And Tangle and Whisper. Are those the characters you were talking about from the comics?
Correct.
Okay, that's why it's like, those look like Sonic characters, but I don't recognize them, so yeah, yeah.
But it's cool, it's so awesome to see that, like, I never thought, you know, such comic characters would, like, you know, finally get, like, a 3D appearance. It's like, wait a minute.
Right. Right. It's probably like how, like, the first time seeing even just, like, I don't know, Pac-Man from when he was only just 2D, and then 3D games started coming out, and it's like, oh, they need to have some sort of 3D depiction. Granted, Pac-Man was, like, a circle with a wedge taken out, so I don't know if that's, like, the best equivalent.
I mean,
but
to be fair, when Pac-Man was announced for Smash, that's how they did it. A yellow circle, take out the wedge.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's just like, oh yeah, it's his design from Pac-Man World, that series.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, which I forget that they recently somewhat did a remake of Pac-Man World 2. Wonder if that's on sale.
Stop, Giles. It's like you're out of control this one.
I have $50.
Save it on some. Oh wait, no, you're gonna spend on games.
It looks like Pac-Man World 2 Repack isn't on sale on Steam at least, which I mean is, I guess, understandable because it's like more of a recent release. Oh yeah, September. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, it's, I mean, I know I, like, did the jab, like, immediately that, Mario Kart beat it at the Game Awards, but, like, I don't actually take the Game Awards seriously whatsoever. It's just I know that there's people that are, like, for whatever reason, like, legitimately, like, upset about that, and just, like, the Game Awards in general, and it's like, don't take them seriously.
I mean, here's the thing, of course they would be upset this year. The French Revolution happened.
Right.
Okay, I can't say that I was straight.
Who's laughing now? Who's laughing hard now?
I mean, it's just the hilarity of what I was trying to do.
To be fair, I have no idea what you're referring to.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
Expedition 37?
Oh, 33.
33, but still.
Okay.
Remember when they came up for Game of the Year, they mentioned that how all their costumes were just for joke.
Oh.
And look at where they are now. 9 awards won in 1 Game Awards, inclusive of Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, excuse me?
Yeah, sorry, I was like, I got distracted for a good minute there. It's like, That's not a dead pixel on my monitor, is it? No, it's just a very large speck of dust. Sorry. For a second, it legitimately looked like it was a dead pixel. That's why I was like, oh, shoot. But before we started, I was talking about, oh, maybe I should, like, get a monitor more tailored for, like, the Switch 2 with higher resolution or higher refresh rate.
I mean, to be fair...
I think that's, like...
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I think that's, like, the third, like, completely off-topic tangent that I've done, like, in a row now.
I'm very surprised and a bit concerned that you're counting that.
It's not like a hard and fast counter. It's just like I think just vibes.
Just vibes.
Yeah, vibe counting.
Jeez Louise. Oh great! Now you actually got distracted. You distracted me on what I wanted to say now.
Oh, whoops.
What was I going to say? Crap.
Expedition 33.
Oh yeah, no. Oh wait, no. Never mind. The tangent that I was thinking of was actually my personal tangent because I'm going off for badminton later. But in all seriousness, when I think about Expedition 33, and like, wow, actually, yeah, this is going to be a very off tangent compared to what we see at Sonic Racing, but nonetheless. But when I saw the game, I was like, I never actually seen the game before, so to hear that I got all these awards. Granted, if you think about it, I think of the games like all of a sudden it came out of nowhere. Maybe to an extent, like Tetris Effect.
Mm-hmm.
Like all those rewards too. So it's like, I could probably see, but I definitely understand Mike's viewpoint as to why, wait, what is this game? When they announced it? But, I mean, to be fair, I feel like this year I've been so out of touch. I'm just hoping that next year, even though I'll be mostly into work, that I'll still be able to be more in touch with like the gaming world and seeing like what games will come out that have that potential, that raw potential to win.
Right. Yeah. Even just like in regards to like the Switch 2, I mean, there's already like some pretty good games out, even though like it's totally understandable that not everyone wants to get it immediately, but like I'm really looking forward to even just like what is Nintendo gonna do now with this increase in power going forward.
That's very true. This is the era of the Switch 2, and we'll see where the power can take us. And for those wondering, I remembered when Jazz and I were talking yesterday, he mentioned how Metroid Prime 4 is like 30 gigs in space. And that's actually quite massive for a game itself.
Yeah, and that's why I got it as a physical copy, is because I didn't want to like...
You were not willing to part with almost a quarter of your space, were you?
Yeah, I mean, granted, just recently, because of Black Friday sales, I did get a 512 gigabyte microSD Express card for my Switch 2. I had a 256 gig already, but I upgraded to that, and even then, it's like 30 gigabytes still kind of felt like a lot. And because this is a first-party Nintendo game, it is not a game key card, so the full game is on the card. And I don't believe it says anything about this on here, but for physical Switch 2 editions, you can stick them in an original Switch and it plays as just the base Switch version. So...
that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, if I wanted to play the game on my Switch OLED for whatever reason, I don't have to take up 30 gigabytes on that system either. It's just on the card. Yeah, just, again, kind of completely unrelated.
Number 4 in a row.
Going forward... Yeah, I think going forward, I'm gonna get more games physical if I know that their file size is big, like this.
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Because I imagine I'll play through Prime 4, and when I'm done with it, like, I can just take it out of the system, and yeah, it's not taking up internal storage, but, like, I can still keep it in whatever, like, Switch travel case. So, like, I can still have the game without needing to, like, then, if I want to play it again, re-download it if I... because I've been, like, trying to get a little bit more in the habit of, if I'm done with a digital game, deleting it from the system.
One day for certain, once I get a Switch 2 myself, and that'll be the first time I'll have to deal with Switch, like, SD cards. I gotta be careful, basically, with how I purchase.
Oh, yeah, you gotta make sure it's an express card. The card itself will have the letters EX on it, and there will be, like, an extra row of pins on the back, like, 2 sets.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's one of the ways that it can, like, it improves the, transfer speed of data, and that's why, in hindsight, I'm actually kind of glad that Nintendo forced the use of express cards, because it means stuff loads faster, regardless if it's internal, like, on the internal storage or the SD card. So.
That will be interesting to note once I do get my Switch 2. Circumstances have made it a very interesting 2026 for me, so we'll see what happens. Anyways, we'll get onto that Switch 2 situation in a moment, actually, because I do want to talk about one last thing before we leave. But back to the Sonic Racing Crossworlds, by the way, I noticed that we've really got off track. But no, do you think Sega hit the jackpot overall? Because, man, like, all of a sudden we're getting, like, when one Crossworld ends, another Crossworld is birthed. And right here, when I see Sonic Racing Crossworlds, I'm like, man, did they time this and created this at the perfect time?
Yeah, I guess, like, what exactly do you mean by, like, the perfect time?
Because I was thinking to myself, like, okay, Smash Ultimate is finally, okay, I guess we're no longer getting, not gonna see Crossworlds for a bit. Wait, Sonic Racing Crossworlds? What? That kind of was my reaction when I saw it. I was just like, man, Sega did a smart thing, IMO.
Yeah.
Now, granted, is it gonna be as popular as Smash? Probably not. But at the same time, it does scratch that itch to make you realize, what happens if this franchise cross with this franchise? Especially for game franchises that we know in no way whatsoever should they be related to fighting, like, well, I don't know, Hatsune Miku.
Right.
So it's like, it's another itch that is being scratched because they decided to be this adventurous. And honestly, it's looking like a pretty dang good idea.
Yeah, well, granted, Smash Ultimate stopped receiving DLC, like, at least 3.5 years ago, so it's kind of been complete for a good long while now.
If anything...
But...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, with... I guess now with there, again, being a new Nintendo console, even though it can play the previous gen's Smash Brothers, there's gonna be a new one, so... At some point down the line.
You think so? Part of me is saying no. I'm gonna say that the Smash for the Switch 2 is only gonna come out in 2028.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it'll probably be some ways off like that.
Everyone clip that, so that if you want to take me off of context as being badly aged, go ahead. I can't wait to the point it's like, oh, you said 2028, huh? It's coming this year. I'll be like, ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, part of the reason why I am going to predict 2028 is that Kirby Air Riders. All of a sudden, we have, Sakurai saying like, hey, you know what? Let me go back to like what I love, Kirby. And all of a sudden making a Kirby Air Riders game.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo approached him to develop a new Kirby Air Riders.
And it's dang good from what I've seen.
Yeah, I haven't been able to play as much of it as I've kind of wanted to, but like the amount that I have played, because I do, yeah, I do own it. I didn't just play the demo. Yeah, it's very fun. I can only play so much of it at one time before just feeling overstimulated.
Ha ha ha. Well,
Just with the speed.
You can just go for the missions. I know Randy Hutaru, a good friend of mine, has been pursuing the missions, and some of them are quite cheesy, honestly. And by that I mean it's like it's very easy to clear without really doing much of anything like perfect.
Yeah, that's kind of what I noticed. Is like I'll play for a bit, like the road trip single player mode, and after doing just like one mission, it's like bam, 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 bam. You get 5 things marked off of the checklist. It's like I don't feel like I did much of anything there, but
all
okay.
I did was press A. Okay, continue.
Yeah.
What was it about holding your hat? Laughter? Anyways.
Right. I felt like I had like something to add to that, but it's just like, no, no. I've just lately been kind of tired from work.
I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
And then over here, I feel a lot more refreshed.
Yeah, you've like lifted major like part of your workload that was, I mean, admittedly self-enforced or like
yeah, it was
self-initiated.
It was.
So. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah, I think it's been a bit better on my end.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for me, as I said, for Hits the Jackpot, they really came at the right time. Granted, as you mentioned, 3.5 years ago, they stopped DLC, but I guess you could say that was about the same amount of time that they decided, that SEGA decided, you know what, let's actually try and dive into that Crossworld realm ourselves and put a spin on something that, you know, many people will expect. And racing, unlike fighting IMO, is more relatable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure you agree with me on that, but...
Sorry, slight correction on the length of time that it's been in terms of like the last major addition to Smash Ultimate, which was Sora being added as a fighter October 18th of 2021. I thought it was a little later or more recent than that. I thought it was like 2022. But
so 4 years.
No, just little over 4 years ago. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Trust the math teacher. But yeah, when it comes to looking at how they did it, it's like racing feels more relatable to fighting. I'm not too sure you believe me. Agree me on that, but it feels that way.
Yeah, like just in terms of like the game genre, like racing is more accessible than fighting games. Like racing games, more often than not, you're holding down a button to accelerate and then steering left and right, maybe using a button for items, maybe using another button for drift. But that's usually kind of it. Whereas with like fighting games, you have to know like all of the Smash Brothers specifically, all your just standard attacks and then special attacks, and how like tilting the stick different directions can influence that. Granted, in terms of fighting games, like Smash Brothers is more accessible than others, whereas like other like actual fighting games, quote unquote, you have to learn like quarter circle turns and like very specific maneuvers you have to do. So yeah, even just in regards to that, racing is more like accessible to just the general public.
Sorry, I'm just writing down notes for next podcast because I just thought of something cool.
Ah,
Now that we talked about how like fighting games are less relatable to racing games, I actually want to try and see if I can dive into that a bit more. So there we go. Yay. Podcast number 37 coming soon. Um it's yeah, I'm just hoping that with more time, right, we can see the game boom, and who knows, it might actually end up being the better than Mario Kart World in due time.
yeah, we'll see.
Sans is a playable racer.
Yeah,
I mean, you never know. Toby Fox, I feel like, will do anything.
right. I mean, Toby himself has like written songs for, at this point now, like Pokemon. So, yeah, not out of the realm of possibility that it's just all of a sudden, oh yeah, Undertale characters.
Yeah, not at all. Can't wait to see what the future holds, honestly, in that regard.
Yeah, and even though, like, I'm very much so a fan of Mario Kart, I will say that World is, lacking in, I mean, it mostly has to do with, like, the connecting, what people are calling intermissions. I have issues with that term, but just the connecting routes between, like, courses being so emphasized, and just the open world being more emphasized than, like, the tracks themselves, because the tracks themselves are very good if you play them in the traditional 3 laps. It's just that doesn't come up as frequently as people want to online. Yeah, I don't know what point I was trying to make. Well, no, wait. Even though I'm, like, very much a fan of Mario Kart, just seeing, like, what Crossworlds has been doing, it's definitely, like, impressive. Not just the fact that, oh, we got all of these different IP holders to, like, allow us to use their characters, but just, like, what it's doing in terms of, like, gameplay looks very interesting. I would have to actually play the game myself to, like, fully form a more cohesive opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is on sale on Steam.
Oh no, what did I've done?
Yeah, the thing is
Ladies and
that
gentlemen, I'm leaving the podcast. Job, nice turn to the dark side. No, I'm just kidding.
There is a demo. That's kind of what I was looking to see. Is there a demo?
Ooh.
I'm gonna add that to library.
Just play it yourself and see if Man,
yeah.
Okay, side tangent on my end. I've never been interested in playing demos, IMO.
Really?
They just never interest me to the where, like, oh, I think a demo will really encourage me to play a game.
Yeah, that's interesting, because there's been, like, a number of times where I've played a demo and been like, okay, yes, I am sold on this game. Kind of a more recent example, even though I haven't bought in the game yet, I want to soon, for reasons. The demo for Metroid Dread. I actually tried it, like, forever ago and got stuck on one part. Didn't figure out how to progress through that, but more recently I tried it and it's like, okay, I got through that. Between those 2 attempts, I played through the entirety of Prime Remastered. So, like, I have a better sense of, like, okay, what I should be doing. And and by the end, it's just like, I wanted to keep playing, but the game was like, this is the end of the demo, thank you for playing. It's like, I want to play more. I say I want to get that game soon because Nintendo is going to be phasing out the game voucher program for Switch Online members next month. So I want to get at least one more set of vouchers and probably end up using one of those on Dread. But anyways, yeah, demos. Yeah, like, excuse me. You said that, like, demos just... Or I guess, like, why exactly have you not been, like, a fan of demos?
I mean, they don't really interest me. Like, I haven't really felt as though I want to play a game because of a demo.
Okay.
It's just like, I'd rather just buy the whole game and just enjoy the experience as a full rather than, like, you know, see what's, like, the first part of it.
Sure. And there is, like, a whole science to, like, actually developing a compelling demo. Which, sorry, it reminds me, I downloaded the demo for the Final Fantasy VII remake, whatever, because that's coming to Switch 2, like, next month. I keep meaning to, like, try out that demo, because I want to see, like, okay, what is this actually going to feel like? That's, like, one of the reasons why I enjoy demos, is you get to, like, see, like, firsthand, like, okay, how does this feel to control? How does it run? Am I actually enjoying this? As long as, you know, the demo is, like, thoughtfully designed, or, like, lets you play enough to get a sense of what the actual game is like, it's, yeah, at least a couple times been one of the main reasons why I've decided to get a game. So,
I guess each to his own in this situation. Unfortunately, it's one of those cases where we're gonna have to agree to disagree in this case.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely understand, like, what your kind of your reasoning is. Just like, yeah, I don't want to just play a small portion of it. I just want to play the whole, like, proper game.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm coming from with this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just think back to, like, getting the 3DS for the first time, and it's like, wow, I can just go into the eShop and download a whole bunch of demos and just try a whole bunch of different games. Now, the quality of some of those games was perhaps questionable, but at least then you knew that it was questionable. Without having to just, like, watch gameplay online and kind of parse for yourself, like, how will this feel to control, and would I find this fun actually playing it myself? So, that's how I specifically found out about Art of Balance, which is one of my favorite, like, puzzle games of all time. It's, like, physics-based. You're, like, stacking different shapes, like shaped blocks, onto platforms suspended over water. So then, like, and, well, like, positioning them so then nothing falls into the water below. It was really fun on 3DS with its, like, 3D visuals, but I think the ports or the versions on modern consoles are all basically the same. It has one of my absolute favorite local multiplayer modes in any game. And it's Tower Tumble. It's, like, yeah, it, like, 2 to 4 players taking turns placing one block, and whoever makes it fall, everyone else gets a point except for them. And so you're trying to make it to where it doesn't fall when it's your turn. If Mario Kart has caused yelling within friend groups and like Mario Party, that game has caused so much yelling with the people that I've played with about just like, how does that work? Why did the game give that to you? Or like, yeah. Yeah, suffice it to say, I have found out and discovered games through their demos that I don't think I would have really actually like decided to play like if I didn't like have the demo to give me a sense of the game.
Then you did give it a sense of direction, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I see that. Yeah, I do see that indeed.
Yeah, especially if like a developer puts out like a not great demo. Granted, I don't remember of any such examples offhand, but I guess maybe like the demo for Mario and Luigi Dream Team. I remember playing that and it was just like I mean, I had played Bowser's Inside Story beforehand, so I knew what a Mario and Luigi game was and felt like. I just didn't feel like it was structured the best, like it put you smack dab in the middle of a random location, and I think it tasked you with like doing one of the main story quests, and then you like did, you know, battles along the way. It just felt very like, just like, we're gonna take this section from several hours into the game, clip that out, and you're just playing that now. That's what the demo is, or was. So, yeah, I think it really just depends on, can a demo even be made for a particular game, and not screwing it up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one of these days, maybe my mind will change. But for now, it's still stuck at that, sadly.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, and again, it's understandable. One thing that I like, even though I really haven't dealt with this all that much outside of the demo for, I guess, Pikmin 3 Deluxe and 4, because I forget that there was a demo released for 4. Demos that basically start you out at the beginning of the game, and sure, it cuts you off at a certain point, but if you get the full game, you can transfer your demo save data and pick up right from where you left off. I like that demos do that now. So then it's like, you don't have to completely redo everything that you just did in the demo. It's like, oh, it just get to continue playing.
That's very true.
That's, with the demo for Final Fantasy VII Remake on Switch 2, that's what, it has a similar, you get to carry your save data over, type deal. So, yeah, if you end up enjoying the game enough, you just get to continue on release day. So,
true.
Yeah, I like that that's a trend in more modern demos. So, anyways.
Is it time for your break for real quick?
No, I'm still good.
Okay. Well, in that case, guess the last thing I want to move on is I see we're nearing 1 hour 20, which is good. Resolutions for 2026. Gaming resolutions and that, of course. I don't mean actual real life resolutions.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets very interesting, especially for me, because knowing that I've stepped away from content, like what I plan to do.
Yeah, now that you can do more gaming purely for just enjoyment and leisure.
Yeah. I mean, I'll let you I'll let you figure out yours real quick. I'll actually start with state mine and explain why. So, for those who didn't know, when I did Super Mario Bros. 3 as a Let's Play, I confess that I never did play Super Mario World properly. Now, granted, I did beat Super Mario Advance 2 Super Mario World 100% without save states. Even though I was playing on the Nintendo Switch Online, I actually never used save states, and I did beat the game 100%.
Nice.
So now I want to try and learn it by myself, where instead I try not to refer too much to guides, because I do plan to try and I have plans to speed run that game to an extent. Not say like pure perfect speed run that competes with the best, but rather just be fast at the game.
Sure.
Because it's the only main 2D Mario game that I have yet to properly play in fast. I've done Super Mario Bros. 1 speedruns, 2 speedruns, both Japan and America, if you're wondering, 3 speedruns, but never World, because I never touched it as much. So that's why I wanted to be better. I wanted to get better at that, and at least say I'm decent at that game.
Yeah. Mario World was the... I mean, it was the Game Boy Advance version, but it was the main, like, Mario 2D platformer that, like, I grew up with. So it... that, for me, at least, holds, like, a special place in my heart, and I should probably go through, like, myself and try doing another playthrough, like, completely without a guide at some point. I think that'd be fun. Because, some exits are kind of cryptic, and so you have to, like, figure out, like, where to go, what to do. Yeah.
Very true, very true.
Yeah, and I have actually been, like, kind of thinking about something that, it's not like a hard and fast, like, resolution for next year, but just something that I want to start doing more is playing more of the games that I already own. Yeah.
Kind of the theme of this episode, to be honest.
Right. That being said, I don't really subscribe to the idea of the backlog, and everyone has a backlog. I think that's just... I have issues with that. That being said, I want to, like, actually work through some of the games that, like, I have, purchased throughout, like, the Switch generation, and at the same time also games that I have purchased on Steam, to the point where I think I'm almost going to implement a rule for myself that I can buy a new game. It's just I have to, within a reasonable amount of time, whatever that may be, start that game and either finish it or play it to a sufficient degree if it's more of like a multiplayer focused thing. But generally for like single player story driven games with a finite amount of content is have there be like a reasonable amount of time between me purchasing it and starting to play it. Whether it's like a month or whatever. Maybe if I'm like finishing a game that like I'm started sometime back and it's like, oh, I want to finish this, but I want to pick up this like newer game that I do want to like play. Like Rhythm Heaven Groove is coming out next year. I have it will have been 10 years since Megamix came out, on the 3DS. That is the most recent Rhythm Heaven game that has come out. I want to play Rhythm Heaven Groove, so that's why I'm not, like, that's one of the reasons why I'm not just completely withholding myself from new purchases of, like, I'll allow myself to like, buy new stuff, but I will have to, like, play that within a reasonable amount of time. That's to, like, partially to, not dissuade, or just, like, sort of prevent me from, like, buying games just because they're, like, on steep discounts. On, like, Steam sales or eShop sales. Granted, like, I'm not, like, overzealous with purchasing stuff in that regard.
Part of me interjecting here, but the funny thing is that for me is that the only reason I don't buy games is on Steam as of recently is only just the fact that I find it inconvenient to get on my YouTube card. Basically my credit card.
Sure.
Because I currently only have 12 cents in my account right now.
Oh.
So when I want to buy a game, it's like, I feel lazy. No, don't buy. So actually, yeah, it helps.
Yeah. And that might actually be something that I do for myself, is completely remove all, like, payment methods from both my eShop account as well as my Steam account. So then I will have to do that, like, physical process of grab my wallet, punch in the numbers, instead of, oh, it's just saved in there, I just click a button and I have purchased a game.
Yeah. Very true. For me, I didn't even save my... I didn't even save my credit card number into my Steam account. Because I probably wasn't going to buy any more games, probably like that, in that method. 2, I was a bit worried about, like, security breach. I mean, if Twitch can have a problem with such thing, so probably can Steam. And 3, well, because I didn't really want to, use that card again. I was planning to use another card.
Sure.
So it's just like, I'm not gonna save it. And I mean, he has helped with my, with controlling what I purchase. Because even though, like I tell you, the amount of times that my games have gone on sale this year without me buying is quite extravagant. Like, it's not a big number. It's still extravagant to the point where it's like, why didn't you buy it? It's like, dude, I don't really want to buy it at the moment. I have too many games. And no, not the gaming convention.
Right. But yeah, and, like, with also having a new console, it's like will want to get more, like, games that are exclusive to it or that run better on it compared to the previous Switch. I mean, that's kind of part of the reason why you get a new console, is for, like, the new games. So just having that balance of, like, occasionally getting a new game like that, but at the same time working on the stuff that you have already purchased. I know there's several series that I basically own in their entirety on Switch that I've barely touched. Just as an example, I have the entire AI the Somnium Files series on Switch. The most recent game, I bought the Switch 2 edition because I could. But the first 2 are, like, original Switch games. So, like, I want to get through that series at some point. I started the Zero Escape series at the start of this year. Yeah, I played through 999 in, like, February. Really enjoyed it. I've been meaning to start Virtue's Last Reward. And I did I played the first, like, escape room, like the tutorial room, but then I didn't continue. Partly because I was having some issues with playing it on the Steam Deck, but I figured out what those issues were, but that's beside the point. There's that. Except for one game in the series, I think I own the entire Shantae series on Switch.
Nice. I almost do,
Yeah.
except the last game, the Sirens, but I might end up buying
Okay.
that for Switch 2 instead.
I think the only game in that series I don't own is Half Genie Hero.
That's what I'm
But
planning
yeah,
to tackle
I've
in due time.
nice. Yeah, the first one that I got was the Pirate's Curse, and I think I've played through most of that, but that was right in 2020, and I just dropped it for whatever reason. Like I didn't go back to it.
I finished that game. It's good.
So like there's that. I know the BioShock trilogy. I have that on Switch. And just like a bunch of just standalone games. Like last month I saw SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated was on sale on Switch, specifically a physical copy. So I guess that was an instance of me going out and specifically procuring a physical copy of a game, but that was because it was on sale and the digital version wasn't. So yeah, things like that. It's like I have those games. I haven't gotten to them yet. Why do I keep buying more games just because they're on sale? That's why I'm like, I want to at least make a dent in that next year. So,
Funny you mentioned
that's also
that.
what...
It's funny you mentioned that because actually, that what you said is kind of the same. One of the other resolutions I have on my side because I also have a backlog of games I want to finish on my Switch. So I share with you the same sentiment on that front.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, on my Steam Deck, or just Steam in general, I have larger games that, I mean, I could just devote most of the year to, like, Fallout 3. I own that on Steam. I remember, like, growing up, one of my brothers got a PS3 specifically just for Fallout 3, and I've kind of wanted to, like, yeah, at least dip my toes into Fallout. So like there's that. I own, like, I don't think I'm really going to actually make much of a dent in this specifically, but in my Steam account, I think as part of like a Humble Bundle, I got so many of the Lego games. So like there's that. I own several games on both Steam and Switch, like Immortals Phoenix Rising. Want to get through that at some point on either system. I own Katamari Damacy Reroll, both on Steam and Switch. I think I have We Love Katamari on Switch. Not like the newest one, I don't think. Basically, I have games that I have, like so many games that I have bought because they're on sale. I need to make a dent in that for it to actually be worth it.
Same. Oh,
Yeah.
the world we live in on that one.
Yeah, it's to the point where I'm considering turning that into some kind of content, even if it's not a video, but just like doing like an actual written log of like the games that I'm playing and like what I think of them.
Play a game,
think that
take
would be-
notes, and then just like make a video. Like that's your motivation. I like that, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold myself to like making a video about it, but like it probably would be good material to make a video of, like, by the end of the year.
Yeah, definitely. That would be cool.
Either that, just like recording it all at the end of next year, or also like as I'm finishing a game, just like turning on a camera or the microphone or whatever and just like rambling about it for a bit. I think that would be fun, because yeah, then it's not just like written out stuff. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Part of me wonders. A part of me is also thinking I want to complete a certain number of games next year, because I think one thing I really lost the joy of that I want to gain back is to just completing a game straight up.
Yeah.
And I really want to be able to at least feel that energy, like that sense of like enjoyment, knowing that I've just done something cool. So that's why that was actually another reason, I guess you can say, of why I decided to step away from content creation, because it just felt as though like game completion felt more like a requirement rather than just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And it sucked. Yeah. It really sucked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna necessarily hold myself to like 100%ing every single like new game next year. I haven't done that in years. Typically with most stuff, I just play to like roll the credits, and most of the time that's it. It's really only specific series that I'll go through in 100%. Like when the Mario Galaxy pack was released on Switch a couple months back, I fully completed Galaxy 2. And I played through Mario Galaxy 1 the first time, and I've started Super Luigi Galaxy. I'm not worried about that, because technically I did that with 3D All-Stars years ago.
I might not even play that, to be honest, until after I finish Galaxy 2 until a bit later, where I'm just like, I feel bored.
Yeah, it's like, only if it's just like I don't feel like playing anything else, I'm just load up Galaxy and get a couple stars.
It, I guess you could say for anyone 100% in that game, it's now a 483 star run.
Yeah.
That's about as many Pokemon up to Generation 4, actually. Because that number is 493. This is 483.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Nerd over here. Hi.
That's okay. We all make mistakes.
Wait, what?
I don't know why. I don't know.
Hello?
I don't know. I'm
you want to
tired.
take this moment to a short, buddy? Because that came out of nowhere.
I don't know. At this point, I'm just like...
actually, if you're not really going to be into shorts, like making the shorts for like that one, I don't mind if you're going to edit this podcast if you want to like make shorts out of hilarious moments like this.
Okay.
Like, if you feel as though it's like, just put some point, like some question marks whenever someone says something awkward or funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll consider it. But yeah, I've realized that like, well, I mean, growing up, like as a kid, most games that I bought, I fully completed, or that I wanted to get given as gifts, I fully 100%ed those. But like, as you get older and your responsibilities increase and all that, 100% in games just takes time away from you. I feel that like you could be putting into like more games. Granted, depends on like what you choose to 100%, so that's why I'm selective with it.
Yeah.
So, because like, I don't know if I'll actually 100% Kirby Air Riders. That just seems like a lot. I'm just gonna play it here and there throughout the Switch 2 generation. I did fully complete the base game of Donkey Kong Bonanza, which was very fun. And at this point, I'm chipping away at the Emerald Rush. stuff, especially when they've been doing the limited time events. Like, that's also been enjoyable, but like, yeah, I'm not gonna hold myself to do that for every game that I play next year.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with this.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that kind of is to all say I'm gonna try to play more of the games that I have already bought.
I see, I see, I see.
So, yeah.
Anyways, a big, I mean, you guys already heard more, like, well, I say all three. Some of my, game resolutions for 2026, now that I've stepped away. One is for certain that I'll be a lot more active. Like, I'm probably not going to be, like, a workout rat like most YouTubers are. United Gamer, I'm looking at you. But I definitely will be more active with sports, which is why I wanted to step away from. Another reason why I want to step away, because I really wanted to, like, I'm actually part of a badminton club now.
Nice.
So I've been joining them a bit now and then, and now that I've stepped away from gaming, it's like, yeah, I can actually set aside time to do something more active out there. Relive my 2006 to 2008 when I was at the gym. If you want, it's a gym class. For like 2 years, and I was a lot more active back then.
Nice. Yeah, exercise is...
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, exercise is important. Especially so, yeah, if you're... if, like, your occupation entails, like, sitting down for most of the day.
Yeah.
It's... Mm-hmm.
It's funny when you say that, because admittedly with my work, it doesn't feel as though I'm walking a lot, but because I'm going through between class and class, it actually is kind of a bit of a nice, mini exercise, you could say, just walking around.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I was more so, like, just alluding to my, like, experience within the past year of, like, actually getting, like, a more of a sedentary, like, desk job of, oh, like, I can just go, or if I'm not careful, I can just go hours without getting up. That doesn't seem healthy. Mm-hmm. So I haven't been, like, overarchingly consistent with it, but I do go through stretches of, like weeks, at least, where most days in the week I am, like, outside of work doing some kind of, like, additional exercise, even if it is just jogging on the treadmill, which is, like, not nothing. So, yeah.
Well, in due time, we'll see.
Yeah, that's... mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I kind of just want to close that out, because even though we will be doing more podcasts more often, I believe this will be the last one for the year, most likely, because next week you probably during your Christmas week, right?
Yep, I will have family visiting, so gonna kind of be busy for the rest of the year.
Due time though, once the time is right, we're gonna have some other stuff we're gonna be playing together. Even know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, in due time. In due time. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, even though I'm out of daily content, does not mean I'm not posting. Intense. But yeah, I just want to announce that. You can see the time. We're at 100 minutes. This is actually pretty good. Any last things you want to say for the year?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably one of the healthiest things that someone could do is actually replace a lot of their consumption of like social media with playing more games. Even like that's not something we really talked about here today. That is something like we talked about somewhat recently. Just like doing less like doom scrolling and more just like actually doing something active with your brain and your hands. So, and that is why I have basically deleted all social media off of my phone.
Wait, even Blue Sky?
Except Blue Sky.
Okay. I was about to say, I'm like, oh no, after you asked me to join now, you left the lights.
Yeah, it's not like, even if I did delete it off my phone, it's not like I would have no way to access it. I mean, I have the computer here, but then also a tablet. So I could still access it, just only from home.
That's healthy.
Yeah, because it's like I spend so much of the week away from home that is like it does help to create that separation, which I did have for years and years until 2019, because I didn't have a proper smartphone until 2019. So I knew and like had that separation.
Wait, pause. How old are you?
I just turned 26. I was about to turn 20 when I got my first smartphone.
Oh, wow. You got your smartphone way later than me.
Yeah, and even like compared to like my classmates in school growing up, it was wild. Like, we finished 6th grade, or like year 6, when we were going into 7th grade. It seemed like everyone just had a phone then, except for me, and I was just like, what the heck? What happened within those 90 days that everyone now just has a smartphone? I did have a flip phone to like still do like the basic calling and texting, but yeah, it wasn't until late summer of 2019 where I had an actual smartphone. I still had like my own computer at home, and that's how I, browsed the internet. It's just I had that separation of, okay, I'm leaving the house, I don't have access to social media or YouTube or streaming or anything. I did have my 3DS though, so I would often take like the couple minutes here and there of just nothing going on to like play a game on that, or I loaded it up with like music as well and like used it as essentially an iPod.
Yeah.
So yeah. A kind of unexpected tangent there, but yeah, that's.
I mean, to be fair, I just asked you what you think of the year, so there you go.
Yeah, it's especially. I mean, it is a good thing to stay informed, but at the same time, it gets to a point where your brain just cannot handle all of that information and everyone's opinions on that information. Like, it's healthier to stay, like, informed enough to know what's going on, but then to, like, not also see, like, everyone's opinions about it, which a lot of those may just be bot accounts, depending, and, like, not actual people, regardless. Yeah.
Perfect. For me, I mean, this year mainly it's just been full of like crazy. Like, I did not mention it in the farewell video, but this year has just been a crazy year in terms of like milestone completions rather than game completions. Like for those who have seen me like speed run and like pursue my own like wants, like you've seen me beat one of my party with no stars after coming back from the last turn. You've seen me get a sub 3 on Super Metroid Zelda 3 combo randomizer, which I never thought I would finally achieve after so many years of grinding.
Nice.
And then just some other stuff that I'm proud of for pulling off this year. And of course, with all the stuff that's happening off the off gaming, it's just been an incredible year. I'm just grateful that, with all the opportunities that's come my way, that things have worked out very well. In fact, this is a spoiler alert. I will be featured on the news next year.
Oh.
So that's just a heads up. It's just been that sort of year.
Interesting.
So now that I know for a fact that things are gonna die down for 2026 in terms of that kind of coverage, it's like, okay, I gotta basically be like Eminem, snap back to reality. There goes gravity. And just remember that, it's like it's always every other day. And I think that if I do that, I feel like I should be good to pursue 2026, which might be my hardest year ever, I'll be honest, in terms of my work, with much gusto and hopefully with a lot of fun.
Yeah.
At least that's my hope. But yeah, it's just a gaming though. Like, I'm just glad that I've decided to step away. I can't wait to just like relax a bit more and like just chill out with friends while they play.
Yeah, like you were like super consistent with that. I'm surprised that you didn't take even like a shorter break sooner. I mean, unless you did and I'm just forgetting.
No, not at all. But admittedly, at the time, it just didn't feel like as chorish as it is now to make videos. Like back then, I was pumping in videos. I still remember one of the most time time-aged videos being one of the Fortune Street boards, where like someone is like where I was just like, man, we're gonna see this video in 8 months and be like, oh, this happened and that happened. Because I was uploading this in November when I was recording it in March.
Wow.
So that's how much I was on with this trend. And then, I guess life happened. And here we are.
Yeah. Admittedly, it was probably much easier like when you were starting out, because that was in the middle of like 2020 and everything being locked down, so everyone just collectively had more time on their hands.
Oh, that's true. And even then, I had no job at the time because I just finished university. So there you go.
Yeah, that especially would do it. Yeah. I'm happy for you that you've decided to value your health and your time.
And to everyone watching, no, this is not a case of fading off the every screen and into black and saying it's farewell, because I've done that before already.
Yeah, it's more so just if anything, it's kind of the vibe that I've gotten is that it's more of like a hiatus year.
Yeah.
If that's the right word.
Yeah, it will be, but that's all right. As I said, I'll still be posting now and then whenever I can. I will try to get those Let's Plays done. And this time will be just whatever. So like whenever I feel like it, I'll just record, post, and then ta-da. So that's kind of the vibe that I will be following in due time. I don't know why I stole your word there, Jowzek, but oh well.
Yeah. Bump the mic.
Oh, with that said, that is going to be it for now. This has been a very, very good podcast, to say the least.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, ever since we kind of started doing them more frequently again, like, I, at first was like, oh, no, I've mentioned this before, of like, oh, are we going to be able to fill, like, you know, the 2 hours, but since kind of getting back into the swing of things a little bit more, it's like, oh, yeah, we can.
100% we can, yeah. Looks like it.
Yeah. Don't know why I had the worry there before, but it's just because we got into, like, stretches of kind of barely doing it.
Yeah, that's very true.
So that's... And I will say, like, I know, like, this is something that, like, we started in 2020. I don't think things, like, really got, like, I don't know, like, good, or, like, better until, like, 2022-ish, whenever it was that you basically had to restart from zero because you got the new computer and you had to like essentially reset your save file because, like, this is the Steam version of Bejeweled that Joel has been playing. Originally, didn't it start out as, like, the actual physical, like, CD-ROM version? If I remember correctly. But I say all that specifically, like, because I just, like, wasn't really familiar and everything with a podcast. So, like, when we were starting out, funnily enough, that was several months before I started my library job, where a lot of the times you're just running around doing your own thing. So I realized, oh, I could just, like, start listening to other podcasts to get a better sense of, okay, how do you, like, properly, like, do a podcast? And so that's how I learned, like, okay, I should, like, think about the topics a little bit more in advance, maybe, like, better, like, prep some of my own stuff, and also just, like, being more present, because I don't feel like I was that present with a lot of the earlier ones, because I just didn't really know what I was doing. So that's why I say, like, it wasn't really until, like, later on that I feel like things, like, really felt like they, like, took shape, if that all makes sense.
Yeah, I saw you, man. In due time, though, we definitely will ensure this continues on, and potentially, I'm hoping that this year will be the last year we'll do visual podcasts on this game. Heads up.
Yeah, because, like, yeah,
we're closing
level count
in.
there, like,
we are closing in.
Yup.